Welcome back to the channel, people. My name is Epsilon. Thank you for tuning in. Today we are talking the 9 plot holes that are so big and so major that in a perfect world, in a realistic setting, could have destroyed and ended One Piece as a whole. But before we get to the video, please, for me, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. First plot hole we have the Haki retcon, which makes absolutely no sense. In the early stages of One Piece, before the Haki concept was introduced, it seemed like characters didn't know anything about Haki whatsoever. And the best example to this I can give you is the way Shanks lost his arm to save Luffy to Sea King, which makes absolutely no sense. I understand maybe he didn't want to use the full power of Conqueror's Haki to scare away the Sea King, maybe because it was gonna incapacitate Luffy or something like that. But he could have used Arminid Haki and he could have saved his arm in the process. But for some reason he didn't. For some reason he let his arm get eaten by a mere Sea King. I'm talking about an Emperor of the Sea here, losing his arm to a Sea King, which makes no sense, right? Second plot hole, we are talking about the Logia Fruit power inconsistency. This literally makes no sense. Logia Fruit power users basically users that are unable to take physical attack damage. When you punch them in the face, they're just gonna turn into their element and basically they attack and no damage has been done, right? That's how it's supposed to work. I mean, look at characters like Smoker, Crocodile, Eneru, but something happened. Something happened. You see, in Alabasta Kingdom, there was a scene where Smoker and Ace were in a restaurant, right? So then Luffy comes doing his Luffy stuff and Luffy things, being a Luffy, right? He runs, I don't know what he does this stretchy arm thing, and he kind of like enters the restaurant by force, and he hits Smoker and Ace and sends them pummeling through multiple walls, bro. That is insane. But how was he able to even hit them in the first place? Because these two are Logia Fruit users. Why didn't he just go through them? Why didn't Smoker just turn into smoke and invade their attack? And Ace the same thing, into fire? That makes no sense. The only logical conclusion that I have to this is possibly that maybe for you to be able to evade an attack as a Logia Fruit user by turning into your element, you need to be consciously deciding to do it. So maybe because Smoker was caught off guard, he wasn't able to activate this ability of his Logia Fruit power. Maybe, I'm just saying. Third plot hole we have is the Calm Belt's paradox. I spoke about this in my previous video, so I'm just going to touch on it a little bit. The Calm Belt is a spot in One Piece. It's a region of the sea in One Piece where there's no ocean current, there's a bunch of Sea Kings nested there, and there's no wind whatsoever. So no ship found in the Calm Belt can set sail, and you cannot escape the Calm Belt basically. Plus it's dangerous because there's a lot of Sea Kings in the Calm Belt, right? Cool. But then for some reason, somehow, which is not explained, Don Krieg came back from the Grand Line, passed through the Calm Belt to go to the Baratier restaurant when he returned to the East Blue, where he met the Straw Hats. But it's not explained how he actually passed through the Calm Belt. How did he actually manage to get through the Calm Belt? Mihawk did the same thing on a raft boat, bro. How did he do that? Yo. For the next plot hole we have, it's Pel's survival, which is also something I spoke about in my previous video, but this plot hole makes no sense. I'm just going to touch on it a little bit as well. So basically Pel is a real god of the Alabasta Kingdom, right? There was a bomb threatening the whole town and its residents, right? So Pel decided to sacrifice himself by flying the bomb all the way high up into the sky, right above the clouds, and taking the full blast of this bomb head on, so he could like save the residents down below. An atomic level bomb, bro. He took the full blast of that thing and still came back. He came back alive. Makes zero sense, bro. Next plot hole we have. Now we're getting somewhere. How is the world government so passive and negligent with Luffy's actions? I mean, think about this. Why haven't they properly thought about this and just sent out the full force of the Navy to apprehend Luffy and the Straw Hats? Because these guys have been causing chaos throughout the One Piece world like crazy, bro. Like, think about this. In Enies Lobby, the Straw Hats literally declared war against the world government. And their response to this was not too bad. They decided to initiate a buster car on the island, which is okay. That's reasonable, much reasonable. But after that, though, they went to Thriller Bark. He whooped Gecko Warrior's butt, bro. And that's basically a warlord. That's a big statement. What did they do? They sent Bartholomew Kuma, another warlord. Why don't you just send like 2 admirals at once, bro, to just stop this nonsense? Because clearly the Straw Hats are up to no good up to this point. They've been doing some crazy stuff up to this point in the anime, so they are clearly a threat, bro. So deal with them, you know what I'm saying? After that, Luffy literally escapes Impel Down causes chaos, okay, escapes Marineford, okay, but still you don't see the government doing much, bro. After that, he goes to Dressrosa, bro. These like whoops Doflamingo, another warlord, and we still chilling. We're still chilling. Only until later on in the anime where you see the government taking drastic measures and eggheading. But throughout the whole anime, it just doesn't make sense how they're so passive with Luffy and the Straw Hats actions throughout the anime. For the sixth plot hole we have, which makes absolutely no sense, and it'll probably never make sense. I don't think it's gonna be explained ever. But hey, during Enies lobby, right, the Straw Hats were caught in a bit of a pickle. So the government ordered a buster car on the island to basically end their lives, right, and destroy the island completely. So they literally had no way out. But that was until they saw something very familiar on the sea. And what was that? That was the Going Merry. Now let me just give you a bit of context, right? The Going Merry was left in Water 7 because it was deemed irreparable and unable to set sail ever again. Like, they decided to just get a new ship, right? So the Going Merry supposedly left Water 7 on its own, sailed through the storm to Enies lobby to save the Straw Hats. I mean, cool. I get like the emotional aspect of and the symbolism of the Going Merry being a friend of the Straw Hats and another member of the crew, and yeah, that was very beautiful and very emotional. That was cool. But how does it logically make sense that the Going Merry can travel through a storm, being in a really bad condition, unable to set sail, managed to get to Enies lobby and save the Straw Hats in the first place? Bro, that just sounds like convenience writing, bro. Let's move on to the next plot hole. Number 7. At number 7 we have the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. Yes, I'm pretty sure you forgot about that. There is a book on the devil fruits that has detailed information about each and every devil fruit in existence, what they do, what they call, what they look like, just name it. But then earlier on in the series, it is established that you don't really know what a devil fruit can do, what power a devil fruit has, until you actually eat the fruit. So which begs the question, how was this book written? Where did they get the information from, bro? The only logical conclusion I have to this question is they just asked past users what the devil fruits were able to do, and that's the information they used to put in the books. But yeah, next we got is Marineford and Haki. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy? What's crazy is in Marineford, bro. Like, bro, I don't know if I'm tripping, but like nobody used Haki. Nobody used Haki in Marineford. If they used Haki, Luffy was gonna be so much easier to catch. That makes no sense. Why? Who? Nah. What? Nobody used Haki. Bro, in this battle we have many top tier pirates, many top tier marines, admirals. None of them use Haki though. Why? It makes no sense. Next we got the last plot hole, bro. During Ace versus Akainu, the fight that ended dismally and with Ace's death, as we all know. R.I.P. Twin. The reason Akainu was able to beat Ace and then put a hole through his chest, literally, he says, is because his magma, which is literally molten rock, is a level higher than Ace's fire, which is why he was able to overpower Ace in the fight. Now that establishes a concept that Logia fruit users can be more powerful than each other based on the level of training or level of I don't know they have, which is it's weird, bro. This just breaks the power logic of the Logia fruits. I'm sorry. If you've reached this point, you are a real one as usual. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. You're a real one. I love you guys. Thanks for the support. And check you guys in the next one.